Now for the show that's truly too hot to handle. It's The Melting Pat, and it starts right now.
You're listening to The Melting Pat. Here's your host, Pat Johnson.
Well, thank you, Jerome. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the show, The Melting Pat, the Next Level Network. How are you? How's everybody doing? Today, you might hear some extra noise. There are people working on something, either next door or a couple stores. Jesus Christ. Either next door or a couple houses down. My goodness. But we live in a row, so it's all going to sound like it's right next to me. It's very loud to me, but hopefully this microphone is decent enough that it cuts everything out, because I don't have another time to do the show. Today's Thursday, and honestly, the week got away from me. So, my bad. It's going to be great. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about a couple who sold tickets to their wedding. Yeah. Sold tickets to their wedding. We'll get into that. I think it's weird, but also I'm not mad at them for it. So we'll get to that. We'll talk about websites being deleted and how that's not a good thing. No matter if you like the content of said websites or not, it's not a good thing in the grand scheme. So we'll talk about that. We will also talk about, I don't know, man. Oh, we had preschool orientation for the boy the other day. And yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit, because it was a bit of a mess, honestly. And all right, we'll get into that shortly. All right, but today, episode 493. I should really start letting you know which one we're on. Shouldn't I? Is that a thing I should do, or am I only doing that because we're coming up on 500 and we're doing a thing? So come on out to the live show, themeltingpat.com. Click on the live show tab for all the information about that. Show starts 5:30, doors at 5 o'clock. Thank you, Tim, for updating the poster, because it said 5 to 9, because we were like, well, that's what the venue told us, 5 to 9. And then people kept asking if the show was 4 hours long. And it is absolutely not 4 hours long, because I still got to edit this, I still got to go in and put some work in afterward. It's going to be, honestly, editing the live episode, I'm glad I'll have about a month, because that's going to be a nightmare. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be a lot of, it's going to take a lot of work. All right. So I'm looking forward to, not that part, but I'm looking forward to the thing. So come on out to the live show. Free admission, free parking, food and drink available for purchase. There will be a cash bar. Come on, hang out with us. Celebrate episode 500 with us, and maybe buy a shirt before you go. TheMeltingPat.com. There's a store tab. Click on that. There are a couple designs in several colors. If you want a different color, let me know. I can make that happen for you. Or buy the cup, buy the tumbler. That would work. I think that's all that's up there. Just the t-shirts and the tumbler. So go, as of right now. So go on over there, buy my stuff, and wear it to the show. Or don't. Do whatever you want to do. It's all made to order, by the way. So I don't have like a stack of t-shirts here in my studio, because I don't have the capital for that. So go on, buy a shirt, RSVP to the live show. The venue needs a head count by September 7th. So come on out and hang out with us at Constadter in Northeast Philly to celebrate episode 500. I am very excited. I will admit I set a lofty goal for the venue when they said how many people. And so, comparatively speaking, the number of RSVPs is not great. But when I take that away and just say, I should probably not be so open with you about this, but that's kind of what this show is. Take that part away, like what I told the venue might happen and what the low end number was. We're not going to worry about that. Take that away. And the number of people who so far have confirmed for the show, and even if it's just like, yeah, I'll be there, great, and didn't officially do the thing, like the number of people who signed up to come see me do an episode of the show is insane to me, right? Like, none of you have to do this. None of you have to, give up a Saturday evening to hang out with us. But I'm eternally grateful that you will. I'm really excited. And it took me a minute. I've been stressing about this for weeks, honestly. And it took my buddy Alvaro, who will be performing at the show, to say, hey, I did an event there a while ago and this many people showed up. You're fine. Honestly, I thought the venue was going to tell me to go kick rocks and keep my money and not let us come. if I didn't have the number of people that I said were going to come, who I thought were going to come, right? Because again, I set a lofty goal because the room holds this many. I said, let's try this. Well, I don't see more than this many. And then I'm not giving you the numbers because I don't want to do that. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to really riff about this right now. I mean, I guess I did, but there you go. Sorry, Jason. We'll get to your song in a second. But come out to the show, everybody. TheMeltingPat.com. Click on the live show tab. RSVP. Let us know you're coming. Come hang out with us. It's going to be great. Celebrating, recording episode 500 of this very podcast. So I thank you very much for being here. And if you're already coming out to the show, great. If not, then what the hell are you doing? Come out to the show. No, at least tell your friends. All right? All right. Gosh. Sorry, everybody. That took a longer meandering than I thought it would. Hold on one second. I got a ping in my ear. It was not important, so we're good to go. So we have a brand new song from our friend Jason Didner. Damn it, I was supposed to have him on. Oh, man, he released an album in April called Digital Carnival, and we talked about him coming on the show, and then life got away from me, I guess, and now it's August, and he's released another song. So, I mean, you can still come on. We could still promote, right? Is that a thing? I don't know. Anyway, Jason Didner released a new song, and it's actually out as I'm sitting here. It's out today. So I was excited because he sent it to me. I got the press thing early, and I was like, cool, I can play it, and then it's already out. So I was hoping we were going to get an exclusive, but that doesn't work out, so it's okay. JasonDidner.com, JasonDidner.com for more from him. He wrote this song because one of his friends was talking about college courses that sound easy, but they're really not. And the song's inspired by Elvis Costello. There's a good mouth riff here, so I'm very excited about it. So again, brand new from Jason Didner. Oh my gosh, did I just say his name wrong? JasonDidner.com. I'm sorry, Jason. It's brand new. It's called Underwater Basket Weaving. It's the Melting Pat. We're coming right back.
I took a course in underwater basket weaving. On paper it looked easy, but it was so deceiving. I never thought of what it would be to weave a basket under the sea. Now these are credits I won't be receiving. I lost my cool when my wicker got all wet. I look back on it now with much regret. Do you hold your breath down there when you weave? Or do you use a snorkel to breathe? If anything's hard, I ain't seen it yet. Underwater basket weaving, the ultimate skill to be achieving. If you can do that, you can do anything. This ain't no course for no ding-a-ling. My mom would say the course wasn't serious. I thought it sounded kinda dumb but mysterious. It's not rocket science or brain surgery. It turned out harder than those classes for me. I couldn't catch my breath and I got delirious. I flunked a course in underwater basket weaving. I thought I got it made, but now that's a grade I'm grieving. We joked about it back in the day, a piece of cake and an easy A. Now in my intellect, I have stopped believing. Underwater basket weaving, the ultimate skill to be achieving. If you can do that, you can do anything. This ain't no course for no ding-a-ling. The joke was on me, as I would soon discover. I badly misjudged this book by underwater basket weaving.
And there you have it, our friend, a dear friend of the show, Jason Didner, with his brand new tune, Underwater Basket Weaving. Again, jasondidner.com for more from him. The Melting Pat, the Next Level Network. A little flat, sorry, a little off today. My bad. Sorry, Jason. jasondidner.com. For more from him, jasondidner.com. You could put that song in like a college movie, right? Like one of those coming of age tales, right? Guy going off to college, people going off to college and hanging out. Maybe like, I was going to name a college movie. I now can't think of any. Damn. Or like a sitcom. You could do that if you did a sitcom about that. You could put that song in the opening credits. That could be your thing. Or like use it somewhere in the movie. That could be a thing. That could be a thing. Over a montage? Huh? Jason, reach out to the movie people. I don't know who they are, but maybe you do. Any movie people on here want to help Jason out, get that song in a movie? Yeah? All right, great. Jason Didner, jasondidner.com. Oh, boy. You know, underwater basket weaving does sound really difficult. That was the crux of the song. It was like a joke between Jason and his wife and their bassists. And they co-wrote the song like, hey, that sounds really difficult. And it really does. Underwater basket weaving sounds really, really tough. And I would not want to do that. I don't want to weave baskets or be underwater at any point. So that's a double no for me, dog. But if you do take an underwater basket weaving course, good luck and have fun. All right? All right. Break. Do that again. Better clap. That was nice. All right. Before we do preschool orientation, we'll talk about that briefly. I saw this. I don't know. Is this real that Chick-fil-A is doing a streaming service? Is that true? Like, is that a real thing or is somebody trolling me? Because I just, why? What are you doing? What are you doing? I just, look, we're not going to get into the whole Chick-fil-A, this and that. We're not doing that. I know. We're not going to do it. This is not the place. I want to specifically wonder out loud why Chick-fil-A thinks this is going to work. Like, what's going to go on there? I've not read anything about this. Again, I still think it's a joke. Is it all the Kirk Cameron movies, right? Is Kevin Sorbo going to get some more work in a crappy, Hallmark style religious movie, right? What is her name? What's the one? Candace, what's her name? Full House. What's her name? Anyway, she left Hallmark to start a super religious thing, right? Is that where this is going to, like, is that where things are going to go? Right? It's like, hey, yeah, Jesus, right? They're going to put that on there, and then it's not going to work on Sundays, right? I don't know, man. Like, what are we doing? Why does everybody need one of the, like, all right, let's get serious for a second. Are you going to do this? If this is real, if Chick-fil-A is really doing a streaming service, are you going to sign up for it? Are you going to watch whatever's on there? Are you interested in this at all? Do we even know what might be on there? I'm just spitballing nonsense, but is that true? Like, is Kirk Cameron involved in this somehow? Like all those, what's the guy's name? He played Jesus in the Passion of the Christ, and now he thinks some, let's call them interesting thoughts and theories. That guy who did that they did that movie, oh, damn it, Sound of Something or Other, and my brain is fried. Jim Caviezel. Is that guy going to be on here? Is that a thing? Like, are they just going to lean in and grab all of the super religious actors who claim they can't get work anymore because whatever reason, right? Is that what's going to happen? Or is it going to be, or no, here's the better outcome. I'm still not going to subscribe to this if it's real, but here's the better outcome. It's VeggieTales, except it's chicken sandwiches. I think that's really the better play, is like make it a cartoon for kids and, strong religious overtones, right? And instead of vegetables, it's chicken sandwiches and chicken tenders and waffle fries. Does that work? I think we did it. I think we're off to a better start already. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like the other thing, I mean, if you want to watch those movies with Kevin Sorbo and Scott Baio and Kirk Cameron and whoever else, right? Candace Cameron, that's her name from Full House. If you want to watch all those things, then I'm not going to be, I'm just saying, like, these are the people who are probably going to be invested in this sort of thing, and this is the material you might see. if you sign up for the Chick-fil-A streaming service. Or the funnier option is you have the same conservative religious messaging, but you wrap it up in chicken sandwiches and Sunjoys and waffle fries. Sunjoy is their iced tea lemonade, right? They're half and half, right? So you wrap it up in their brownies and cookies and things of that ilk. And it's basically Chick-fil-A tails. It's Veggie Tales with chicken sandwiches. You know what, man? If that shows up somewhere, I'd watch a clip of it. That's interesting. I'm not super religious, as you know, which is why I'm kind of crapping on this. But am I crapping on? No, I'm just wondering. Okay. I am not crapping on the idea that a service should exist with religious programming. That idea, I have no problem with that. If that's the thing you're into, if that's something people are going to watch, I have no problem. It's not for me, but if that's something you want to watch, go right ahead. I am not going to yuck your yum on that. However, why is it being spearheaded by a chicken sandwich company? That's the part that gets me, is that why, unless the end game is Veggie Tales, but it's Chick-fil-A menu items. Otherwise, what are we doing? Right? All right. Anyway, I saw that this morning, and I did no further research. I still think it's a troll post, and it's not real. But it's interesting, to say the least, that, at the end of the day, why wouldn't they, right? Why wouldn't a corporation decide, hey, we should have our own service where people can watch our shows and our whatever we want to put on there? Why wouldn't a corporation do that? Right? Right. Okay, let's get on with the rest of the show. I just thought that was interesting. I wanted to share. And maybe, are you interested in the Chick-fil-A streaming service? Let me know. I know they're bad because I know. I don't want to hear it. I've already heard it, and I'm with you. I just want to know, a yes or no, would you sign up for the Chick-fil-A streaming service? Even if it was only for a free trial to see what's on there. Let me know. All right? All right. I think the people stopped working. I think they stopped drilling over there. That's good. That's good for the show. I hope, anyway. All right, let's get on with the rest of it, shall we? We shall. So I saw this a couple weeks ago. A wedding couple sold tickets to their ceremony. And we talked a few months ago about the invitation that said, hey, if you want to come to the wedding, just pay us some money for the reception, the buffet, whatever they were doing. And they asked for like $80 to pay for the reception, right? You remember that from a few months ago? And I'm like, man, that's actually not a bad idea. Like, don't get us a gift. Instead, just pay for the party so we can all hang out together and have a good time. And the weird old people who are stuck in the mud about their ideas and how things should go, we're mad about it. And of course, they're mad about this too. Now, this is very different because the couple sold tickets. They charged $333 per guest. And what that got you was a seat on their double-decker bus and a 12-hour adventure in New York City. And they made stops at the sites, and they stopped at fancy restaurants and did all that, and did the whole thing, did a whole big tour of New York City as their reception. I think they had the wedding somewhere, and then everybody who paid for the reception got on the bus and went around New York City for the day, right? So if that's something you're into, that's great. Good for you. It's not something I would do. But, and yeah, it's not just for the price either. Like, riding around on a bus for 12 hours, it just doesn't sound like fun to me because I've ridden enough buses, okay? Like, I've ridden enough buses in my life. I don't need to pay a bunch of money to ride on another. So it is a different approach, and I do like it. I like that they said, hey, we could spend thousands of dollars on a venue and on this and that, or we could ask our friends, our wedding invitees, to, I don't want to say foot the bill, because that sounds like I'm opposed to it, which I'm not. Like, as a general idea, I am not opposed if you want to sell tickets to your wedding. It doesn't mean I'm going to go, but, I'm not opposed to a different approach to save some money. Now, I know there are people, oh man, if you can't afford a big wedding, don't have one. Bah. But really, at the end of the day, you want your friends, like your closest friends, to be there. And you invite a lot of people, and you expect a lot of them, many of them not to come for whatever reason, even if they don't have to pay. Like, you're going to buy a gift, right? We talked about this. You're going to buy a gift for the wedding, and you're going to spend a couple $100 anyway. So if you have the money, if you have $333 and you want to go on a 12-hour double-decker bus ride through New York City, then yeah, you should do that. If they said, hey, we don't want any presents or whatever, just come to the wedding. Maybe they did say, I don't know if they said anything about presents, but I would hope not. If I'm already paying you $333 to come to the wedding and do a thing, I'm not also spending $100 or whatever on a gift. I'm just not. I don't have $433 to drop on one thing, right? And then if you're in the wedding, you might have to rent a dress or a tux or whatever, and that's an expense, right? Look, if this is something that you want to do, I think it's great. I think it's cool, right? It's a different approach. It's interesting. You know, they invited a lot of people, and a lot of people balked at it, couldn't come. They invited 350 people, which is crazy. That's an insane number of people to invite to a wedding. In my opinion, we had 100 people. We invited maybe 120, and that seemed like too many. But but they said more than 80% of their guests declined. So how many is that? Can we do the math? Hold on. So of 350, 70 showed up. And that's a lot. That's a lot. It's a big drop off. But if you're just saying, hey, like if you're charging admission basically, or if you're making people pay their own way to do this thing with you, then you definitely understand that a lot of people on your guest list are not going to be able to come because they either think it's a silly idea or they can't afford it. And either way, that's fine. You don't have to stop being friends with them because they couldn't come to your wedding. That's fine. Not a problem. It was a lot. That's a lot. Again, if you have the money to do this, if you have the money to book this big event. So here's the thing. Here's the other thing. They definitely booked the bus tour before, right? Like they would have had to book it in advance, right? Maybe definitely is the wrong word. But do you think they booked it when they had 350 on the list and thought, okay, all 350 are going to come and we'll be able to foot this bill and have some left over to do what we're going to do with it? Or did they book it? How far ahead do you have to book something like that? Right? That's probably not a same day booking. You probably have to book a few weeks out. So, well, I guess you give the people a deadline, your invited guests. You give them a deadline that says, hey, we need you to RSVP by this day. And then they call the bus company and say, okay, we've got 70 people coming on. That's probably what happens. So I'm guessing the fear of, oh my God, what are we going to do if not enough people show up and we got to pay more money for this? I'm guessing that wasn't there because they probably said to their guests, hey, here's the wedding invite. Here are the details. We're going to do this, this, and this. It costs this much. Please let us know by this day. Give us the money by this day so we can reserve the thing. That's probably what happened, right? So that's pretty cool, man. That's an interesting thing. It's not something, like I said, not something I would do. And it's not something that I would, not something I would go to or book. It's been stressful enough booking this live show, and you don't have to pay to come. So you got to buy your own food. But anyway, so they said they saved tens of thousands, and they're going to use that to start a family and donate to IVF organizations. So that's pretty cool. So the money that they would have spent on a venue was saved because they had their friends and family buy tickets and spend the day with them. And according to all the videos I saw, they all had a great day, which is awesome. Like, that's the point. You want to go to the wedding and have a great day. And from all accounts, it looks like they did. And so I just want to say to all of the traditionalists, let's call them, to be nice, that if you're sitting there going, oh man, if you can't afford a wedding, blah, 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 or like, oh no, weddings are supposed to be this and do it this and do blah, 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 like put it in a little box, and anything else is unreasonable and unfathomable and unacceptable to people, which is dumb, right? Like there are people who want, no, we're not going to do that. I was going to go do a little throwback, but I'm not going to do that. So it's just really weird, right? People think it's tacky, like, oh, you're making your friends pay, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, we want to be able to do this. And the way to do it, to celebrate, one, the wedding, and two, in this specific way, we can't afford that, but it's something we all would like our friends to do. And if their friends went up for it and said, yeah, let's do it, and 70 of them did, then what's the problem? What's the issue? If they had fun, it's not like you were invited random guy who saw this online and said, "Oh, my wedding was in a church and the driest chicken I've ever had." Right? You weren't going to get invited to the bus trip in New York City because you're a loser. That's not nice. No, it's not nice, but it's accurate. Right? If you're like whining about, "Oh, we should always do it this way." We've said this on the show many times. If your only reason for continuing to do something a certain way is that this is the way we've always done it, that's a bad reason to do it. That's all. Like if your only reason to do a wedding in a certain way or to keep going to a thing, if your only reason is we've always done it this way, we have to do it this way, and you offer no room for expansion of the idea or replacement of the idea or a shuffling maybe of the idea, then you're stuck in your ways and you could do that. But don't try to get everyone else stuck in your same way as well. That's what drives me nuts about certain people in politics who want to say we have to do it this way because they want everyone to fit in their little box and do things their way and live by their rules. When guess what? The rules you're living by do not apply to me because I don't follow your same system and I don't believe in the same things that you do. And guess what? That's fine. That's part of we're going off on a weird way. But I say that to hammer home the point that just because something is unusual to you and something is not for you, like I said, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't go on a 12-hour New York City bus ride and pay $300 for it. That's not something I would do. Good luck. I'll write you a check. Congratulations, best wishes, all that. Go have fun. But I'm going to pass on the bus trip. That's what I would do. If I got this invite, I would have been like, "Whoa, that's a lot of money," and I would, respectfully decline and send them a check for $100 or whatever. I would do that instead. What I'm not going to do is call them classless or call them tacky or call them, whatever other word that an old person would want to use to describe this, because they're not. They did things their own way, and again, from all accounts, everyone had a wonderful time. And I need to reiterate, if your only reason for continuing to do things a certain way, or your only reason for cutting down someone for doing something differently, if your only reason for doing that is because I did it this way, we did it this way, you should all do it this way, that's a terrible reason, it's a terrible opinion to have, and you need to either open your mind to new things or shut the Those are your options, right? You either expand your horizons and accept that new things are going to come and you're not going to like them all, and you go, "Oh, that's interesting," and keep scrolling. Or shut up. Keep your, zip it, wrap it up. There you go. And they're donating to IVF. That's pretty cool, man. That's a pretty cool thing. Like the money they saved from the venue, that's pretty cool. All right? Jesus. I could file this under, old people get upset again, or not even old people, but let's say a bunch of weirdos getting upset because something was different and something is not exactly like the way they did it or would do it. And so to them, that's scary and bad. And anything different is bad. Anything that doesn't fall into my boxed view of the world or whatever, my boxed view of, why do I keep punching the microphone? I'm not upset. Maybe I am a little bit. Anything that doesn't fall under what I deem acceptable is garbage and needs to be ridiculed. And I just can't imagine living that way. I really can't. So there you go. Again, not something I would do, and not just because I don't really have the money right now. But anyway, no. But listen, I don't think any of my friends who are going to get married are going to, make me, or not make me, are going to ask me to pay $300 for a thing. Right? Maybe. Do I even have any friends left who still need to get married? Maybe a couple. But anyway, that's a neat idea. I think it's pretty cool. I'm glad everybody had fun. And if you got your panties in a twist there over the how different the event was, then, go pound sand. That's what I'll say. All right? All right. Good stuff. Well, I guess if you're really upset about something like that, you're likely not listening to this show. Maybe I'm just speaking for me. All right. Anyway, maybe we are going to get mad in a moment. We kind of got a little testy there. But I want to talk about this. So we talked several months ago about, this is like the remix edition or the follow-up episode. We talked a few months ago about, I know I sound exhausted. I'm sorry. There's a fly in here. Get out of here. I missed it. It's still here. It just landed on the microphone. Go away. Go away. Sorry. None of you can see this. But anyway, I talked a few months ago when, what was it, Batgirl, and there was another movie that was like fully completed, but then the company said, nope, we're going to pull it. And I've talked about shows that, no, different thing. But I did talk about that as well. When a show gets pulled from like Netflix or Hulu, like an original show that they made, and it lasted one season or two or whatever, and then they decided, hey, we're going to pull this down. We're going to get rid of it. It's all gone. So essentially any trace of that show in terms of being able to watch it, that's gone. It's gone because they ripped it away for tax reasons or whatever, and it's gone. And so we talked about how bad that is in terms of a lot of things. In a number of ways, that's bad. But recently, I've seen that websites are being deleted. They're just all being deleted. MTV website, gone. Comedy Central, gone. Cartoon Network, gone. Game Informer, gone. Now, it doesn't matter if you liked any of these websites, went to any of them, used any of their services or whatever, enjoyed any of the content they provided, enjoyed any of the articles, any of the videos, any of the interviews, any of the games, any of the whatevers. It doesn't matter. If you enjoyed them or not, it doesn't matter. I need you to understand that entire websites just vanishing from the internet is not good. It's not a good thing. It's bad. It's very bad, in fact. I was in a Twitch stream maybe about a month and a half ago, and somehow, Doug, it was your stream, one of your UFO streams, and somehow the topic of like world history came up. We talked about how in war, a lot of civilizations, one of the things that they will do when they're ransacking a city is destroy the library. And any written work, any kind of recorded history will be destroyed. And it's one of the most disgusting things you can do. It is one of the worst things you can perpetrate on a civilization, on a community, is erasing their history. Burning books, destroying libraries, wrecking cultural artifacts. It's one of the worst things, one of the worst crimes you can commit against a civilization. Because if the history is gone, people can't learn about civilizations, how they lived, what they did, good and bad, to know what not to do, right? If people stop learning, we all get dumber. I think you're seeing that with any social media post that you can find from a certain side, from a certain website, right? From people with a certain worldview. Maybe the same people who complain about non-traditional weddings, right? Maybe this is the same kind of person who thinks that burning books and banning books and doing all this is not only acceptable, but should be encouraged. And I'm not saying that the fat cats, I don't know why I couldn't say executives back there. I'm not saying that them removing these websites and all their archives and whatnot is the same thing as a civilization destroying a library. It's not what I'm saying, because they're not erasing an entire culture. But aren't they? Maybe not an entire culture is too strong, but they are removing a lot of cultural information from the zeitgeist, right? They're removing a lot of it and they say, oh, internet's forever, right? But is it? If executives can one day just decide we're going to erase all of these things from the internet, all of these articles and videos and interviews and performances and games and whatever, we can just erase it with a couple of clicks, right? We can nuke the whole thing and they'll just all be gone. And it's just so, and now, by the way, the websites just push you to Paramount Plus or whatever the other ones are, Discovery Plus or whatever. And so the core of the website is gone. And it's basically a splash landing page to direct you to the new thing, the streaming service, which, by the way, may also remove shows at a moment's notice and just erase them from the universe. So man, like, why can't we just have the articles, right? Like, why can't we just have the stuff? Why can't we have the pieces, right? Because, maybe there was a piece about a musician years ago and it turns out he's not such a great person, but now that that's gone, you can forget about it and just try to reshape his image and no one will know because the evidence of him being a garbage human is gone. Just a little example. All right. Nobody in particular, just something I thought of right now. Maybe it's not, that's why it's not so clean. Sorry. But websites and blogs like Vice and Deadspin, they were shuttered and then resurrected. And the new owners decided, hey, instead of having a dedicated space for this, we're going to push it all to our social media platforms, which, on its own is not bad. But what do you do when I'm hungry? Sorry. What do you do when that site is gone? I'm hungry for all this information. How about that? Tie your stomach growling to the show, Pat. What do you do when social media goes down? What do you do like when Twitter barely launches or things don't open or things don't load or whatever? What do you do when you say, hey, we're going to push the social media and your post because for whatever reason you're not in the algorithms and so nobody sees what you're writing? And so what's the point? If you got nothing going on. So what's the point? Why pay for the hosting, right? It's just so. Oh man, I say this all the time. Whenever somebody asks about, hey, what should we do? Like I'm trying to do a show or writing or whatever. Yes, have a good social media presence, have a good following. It takes a lot of work to do that, but also you got to have a website because those platforms may stop working or they may not function in the way that they should, in the way that you're used to, and now you have no way to share your work and you have nowhere to put it, right? So if you don't have a website and your only thing is like, oh, I share things on Twitter, guess what? Twitter stops working. You got nothing else going on. And so you got to have a website and you got to keep it up there, man. Like, why? I don't know, man. Also, some of these companies that rebooted these websites are replacing them with AI nonsense, and that's not good either. It's just such a crock of and like nothing. Look, man, web hosting, I know on like a corporate business level is more expensive than what I pay for my little website, but at the same time, to $1 billion corporation, it's a drop in the bucket, as they say. But I guess not for these people. The cost-cutting angle's nonsense. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. But also, back to, I guess, one of the core issues I have with this. Not only because we don't have the material to read anymore. Like, that's bad, because I like to read things, especially, entertainment things. And you've removed 3 of them, 4 of them, 5, whatever, right? I like to read stuff. And I don't like to watch videos. I prefer to read. That's just me. That's me. I prefer to read things. And so I think one of the core things that's wrong with this is that the writers who worked on it now don't have proof of their work. And they don't have any way to say, hey, if you're a freelancer, right, you jump from place to place. You go, hey, I worked at Vice, or I worked at ComedyCentral.com, or I worked at MTV.com, and you go to another place, and they say, cool, can you show me that? Well, now you can't. Now you don't have the proof that you did the work because the place where it was hosted is gone. And yes, have the backup somewhere on a drive. Yeah, that's great. But you just submit a random document from your Google Drive, right? That doesn't really show that it was posted anywhere, that anybody interacted with it and read it and enjoyed it or whatever. So just having it is good. Like, that's good. Having it is good. You want to have it. But without the company behind it to say, yep, this person was legit. They were a legitimately paid writer for us. They did this and they do good work. And you can use this as an example. That's gone because the websites they don't exist. They've been scrubbed completely. And all that work that people got paid for and spent a lot of hours on, it's just gone in an instant. Just like that. Gone. Because some corporate executive said, hey, we want to save some money on web hosting. Let's make these landing pages just for our streaming service, which also is going to pull stuff and also is not going to work a lot of the time. Let's do that. And they were like, yeah, sure, boss. Great job. And they get another $3 million or whatever. And saying in a job interview, by the way, like, hey, I worked at this place on this piece and I couldn't get it for my portfolio because the archive is gone, the website's gone, I got nothing to show for it. That's probably not going to fly. Probably not going to go. They're going, yeah, sure, pal. Yeah, you could say you're a regional manager of Toys R Us, right? Who's going to check? Or Borders. Who's going to check? You can't because they're gone, right? I don't know. Maybe I slipped in a joke when I shouldn't have. But, man, we were told years ago. So I was in college in 2006. Until 2010, I didn't stop going, right? I finished my term, right? And that was right around the time when, Facebook had been out for a couple of years. Twitter had been around for a couple of years, but it wasn't huge. And so, social media was still kind of young, kind of new-ish a little bit. New enough where we were still being warned that the internet's forever and don't post everything on social media, things like that, right? We were warned. We've been warned. At least, in my generation and people a few years older than me have been warned that the internet lasts forever. But does it? They wanted to dissuade us from posting dumb everywhere. They wanted to be like, hey, don't post that crazy party picture because, a future employer might see it. Never mind that none of my employers ever looked at it, but not that I posted a lot of truly nefarious things. But anyway, they're like, oh, the internet's going to be up there forever and tell us stories about teachers got reprimanded for partying 10 years earlier or whatever. And it's just like, all right. And it's just so, we were told, hey, the internet's forever, right? But is it? Is it, with all these things going down and social media platforms being, ad-riddled and suggested posts of whatever, right? You're not going to see any of your friends' posts unless you pay for their premium, right? You don't want to do that. So is it forever? I don't think it is. And honestly, overall, I think we're worse for it. I really do. Because, again, you're erasing cultural history. And maybe it sounds more serious than it really is when I say it that way. But when you erase Comedy Central, that's a lot of things from The Daily Show, which was news of the time and things that we should probably still know, like interviews with, authors and political correspondents and presidents and chiefs of staff and all this stuff with important people over the last 30 years of American history. Gone. Vice. A lot of important things went down there over the years. A lot of good journalism happened over there over the years. Been gone. Right? Deadspin. They were pretty good for sports stuff. They used to be. Sports Illustrated used to be good. Now they use AI, and now it's nonsense. We talked about that. Right? MTV. Music, pop culture, all the things that helped shape a generation of people, and all the things that were, fun and interesting, and like, hey, remember this? Yeah, let's go check it out. Gone. It's just gone. Because some corporation decided, hey, we're not going to pay for this website hosting anymore. And so all this stuff is gone. And yeah, again, we're warned the internet's forever. I don't think it is. The old saying goes, right? Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. And if you don't know what you don't know, then you won't know. I don't know what that was. But I just don't like that someone's work, that a lot of people's work, can be erased permanently at the whim of someone who doesn't understand why it's important. And people who are celebrating these websites being obliterated are incredibly narrow-minded, let's call them. Instead of calling them stupid, let's call them narrow-minded. And I just think it's disheartening to see people's work just get, and look, man, I'm technically a member of the media. I did a lot of writing back in the day for websites that no longer exist. And so if I say, hey, I did this, yeah, great, where is it? Gone. So I can't, not that it's going to get me a job or anything, but it's the same idea of yeah, I wrote for this publication that doesn't exist anymore and you can't find it. And so now what do I do? Right? It's just it's not good that people are losing access to their work to be able to show, hey, this is what I did. This is what I can do. Please let me do this thing for you now because this place doesn't exist. But the fact that it doesn't exist is hurting your chances because no one can see that you did it. So I am very much against erasing history. And I would like companies, corporations to stop doing it because we need to know, and we should be able to, have that information at our disposal. If we have access to the internet, we're supposed to have information superhighway. We're supposed to have access to all this information, and now you're just erasing it. And for what? To save a little bit of money? You're a billion-dollar corporation. So stop the crying poor nonsense. All right. I don't know, man. I thought about going in a different direction, but we've been here long enough. Maybe not for the whole show, but for this segment, we've been here long enough. Because it just bothers me that all these things, for no real reason at all, are just gone. And they're not going to be the last ones. So I guess treasure what you have. I don't know what to say here, but they definitely will not be the last places to shutter, and maybe even be replaced with AI nonsense, because that's the cost-cutting excuse, and they use a bunch of nonsense to do it. So not good. No bueno. No bueno for me. All right. There you go. Stop erasing websites, god damn it. Keep them up. Okay? All right. We're about done. Hold on one second. My recording program was starting to slow down on me. Didn't want it to crash, so we'll start a new track, and we'll wrap it up from here. So, real quick before we go, I know we've been kind of crotchety today. And, did we talk about the preschool orientation? Did we? No, we didn't. Oh, we forgot. I'm sorry. I meant to tell you at the top of the show. My bad. All right, we'll put this here. It's fine. We'll end on a better thing, more exciting news. All right? I mean, the orientation was kind of a mess. But, so we went to this place on Wednesday. And I didn't write it down because I thought I was going to have to record on Monday, and then I couldn't, and now I can. So here we go. We had the kid starts preschool on Monday, and we're very excited. And so they had an orientation on Wednesday. So we went over, and now they told us they originally had 2 different sessions for the orientation, one at like 11 and 1. And then they said, okay, the first one got canceled, so now it's 1 o'clock and then 2 times on a different day. Okay, so what I think happened, and I think led to a lot of the confusion and chaos is too strong, but what led to a lot of the messiness is that I'm pretty sure a lot of the people who were in the session meant to come to the earlier one, but then could not. So there were a ton of people there. Everybody brought their kids, which I thought was kind of weird because the kids did not need to be there. And so the kids are running around, and the people are trying to explain to all of the parents, like, hey, fill out this form. We're going to do this and this and this and this. And then like, oh, go meet the teachers. Great. So what could have taken probably 35 minutes, all told, if it was just the parents, not the kids, or just like a parent and not the kids, because then you got to worry about what they're doing and making sure they're safe and whatnot. And you're still trying to listen and fill out all this stuff. So we get over there, and the gym is full. And yeah, we filled out some paperwork, and then went and met the teacher, went into the classroom, she filled out some more, the missus filled out some more paperwork. Well, I kind of was with him, making sure he wasn't messing stuff up. And he seemed excited. Like, he got in the room, saw some toys, so I was talking to other kids. The kids seemed excited about it. So I'm looking forward to Monday, to the old preschool starting. So I do imagine he's going to be very upset when we have to leave him there, because that's just sometimes how it goes. But I do think overall he's going to have a good time. I like what this school does with the kids. Not this experience notwithstanding. I do like what they are doing, what they're going to do, hopefully. I just think this could have been, I don't want to say it could have been an email, but because that's not fair. Because I think that parents should know where their kids are going and who they're hanging out with, right? So I just didn't think the kids needed to be there, and it should not have taken more than 2 hours, which it did. It should have taken like 35 minutes. Hey, fill out these forms, and then go down to this room or up to this room and go meet the teachers, and then, okay, we'll see you on Monday, right? We could have just done that, and it would have been fine. But instead, all the kids are running around making noise. Nobody can hear what's going on. And it was just kind of a mess. And I'm not going to use it as a negative against the school. It didn't make me want to reconsider sending him there. That's what I'll say. Because again, I have heard and read what they're all about, and I'm excited about that. And so that, I think that's going to be good for him. And so this isn't making me, rethink what we're doing. However, I really think the reshuffling of the scheduling, the changing of the schedule, I should say. I really think that played into the chaos that again, maybe chaos is too strong, but the craziness that we experienced Wednesday. I just think that had to be part of it because then, so what happened was we all fill out this paperwork, right? And there are many more of us in the room than I believe were supposed to be there because a lot of people, I guess, expected to come 2 hours earlier and get it all done. And so I guess they had to, reconfigure things. And so by the time we filled out the forms and went out to figure out where the kids are going to go, they had to go through many more lists of names to find out where we were all supposed to go. And I think they just kind of got caught. They had to, because this was on like Monday that we found out that the first session was canceled. And so, they had 2 days, less than 2 days, to kind of scramble and figure out what was going on. Now, yeah, they could have printed out a thing and go, hey, your kid goes here, your kid goes here, your kid goes there. And that probably would have helped out. But there's probably a privacy thing against that, right? They can't just post that everywhere. I don't know, man. They probably could have made it a little easier. But again, they had, less than 2 days to do it. And they still have to do all the other school type things for their business, right? They got to do their stuff. So, yeah, man, it was a mess. It was, it was a lot. It was overwhelming at times. But again, not a negative against the school. Just, you know what? Sometimes those things happen. And, you have to work with what you have. And sometimes what you have is not the best situation. So there you go. So, yeah, very excited still. Kiddo is going to preschool on Monday. Looking forward to it. So, also I'm going to be back to streaming at lunchtime on Twitch. Probably Monday and Tuesday next week. So there you go. Twitch.tv/TheMeltingPat. Maybe the missus can join me. Who knows? Maybe she could stream on her own. We'll find out. I'm going to ask her when I go upstairs in 10 minutes. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. You know what was awesome? This episode. I had fun. I had a lot of fun. I really did. I got mad in the middle there. And I kind of like that I forgot to do the preschool thing at the top of the show. Unless I didn't, and I repeated myself, in which case, that's our show. We put a coin there to cut all that out. And and that's that. All right, come on out to the live show. Come go buy some shirts. Buy some shirts from me. Buy the tumbler. Buy some merch from me. All that information is at themeltingpat.com. All right. Thank you. Thank you to Jason Didner for the tune. Underwater Basket Weaving is available now on Bandcamp and I assume all the other places. So go check it out. Tell him I sent you, and he might actually be happy about that. Because we do have conversations, we do chat often, and we're internet friends, I would say. And he'll be happy to hear that you heard about him from me. Jason, come out to the show. Come hang out with us. All right, everybody come to the live show. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have fun. No, we're actually gonna have fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. Even though my lofty goal is nowhere close to being met, but we're gonna have a great time. God damn it, conflab it. It's gonna be awesome. All right, JasonDidner.com, JasonDidner, for more from him. Again, themeltingpat.com for more from me. And that is all. Also, before we go real quick, where can I watch more swimming, skateboarding, and track and field competitions outside of the Olympics? Those are 3 things I want to watch more of. So if you know, let me know. All right? All right. Break. We're done. That didn't need to be a whole segment, so I wanted to just throw it in at the end. We are good to go. Okay, G-Love, we've been here for a while. Should we do G-Love today? No, we're not going to do that. We'll do mine, but check out G-Love and Special Sauce with cold beverage with all their stuff. Sorry, I went into, robot mode there. G-Love and Special Sauce, Philadelphonic.com for more from them. There we go. We'll do my music at the end there, and it's fun. It's fun, right? No? All right. I love you. This has been an 8 Boiling production. Until next time, my friends, have fun, be safe, thank a veteran, wear your mask, wash your hands, get vaccinated and boosted when you can, and of course, don't do anything I wouldn't do. That is our show. Thank you so much for being here. Go have fun. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. You've been inside the Melting Pat on the Next Level Network. Go crap open a cold one.